Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Glazers set 3.75 billion price tag on Manchester United, which could tempt interest from Dubai. Gary Neville says he has a gut feeling about the Glazers selling Manchester United. Revert back to a few weeks ago, it said Sir Jim Ratcliffe wanted to buy Manchester United. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is one of Britain's richest men. He's a billionaire worth 15 billion. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is the CEO of Ineos Chemical Group, and he's the owner of Nice, which is in France. A few weeks ago, Elon Musk joked about buying Manchester United. Prior to that, it said Elon Musk was planning to buy the club. Elon Musk is an American billionaire worth around 218 billion. And earlier on this year, it said Michael Knighton was preparing a bid to buy the club from the Glazer family. Revert back to 1989, Michael Knighton tried to buy Manchester United. He aborted a £20 million bid. Michael Knighton is well known for his involvement in Manchester United and Carlisle. But yeah, we've got to get the Glazers out of the club. For a while now, Man United fans have been protesting against the Glazers. The Glazers have owned Manchester United since 2005. So they've owned the club now for around 17 years. They bought the club for around 500 million. Also at Manchester United, we've got John Murtaugh. He's our director of football. We've got Richard Arnold. He's our CEO. He replaced Ed Woodward when Ed Woodward resigned. Got Benny McCarthy at the club. We got Mitchell van der Gag and Steve McLaren. They're working alongside Erik ten Hag. Erik ten Hag was the one that recommended them in. Quite a few weeks ago, Sir Alex Ferguson came back to Manchester United in an advisory role. And obviously Erik ten Hag is the Manchester United manager. Revert back to the first two league games, Erik ten Hag got prejudged by the vast majority of Manchester United fans. I never prejudged him, because I think Erik ten Hag is a very good manager. He can make Manchester United competitive. He knows the expectations he's got to exceed at Manchester United. You know, Ten Hag has won 4 games as the Manchester United manager. Man United have won 4 games in a row. Manchester United recently beat Arsenal 3-1. You know, since we've kept Harry Maguire out of the team, and obviously haven't started Ronaldo, we've looked a far superior team. I've give Erik ten Hag a lot of credit the way he's approached the last 4 games. You've got to admire what Erik ten Hag did when he was at Ajax, because when he was at Ajax he won Eredivisie titles, he won Dutch Cups, and revert back to 2019 he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals, and he developed the young players well. In the past, Ten Hag managed Utrecht, Bayern Munich's reserves and Go Ahead Eagles. Ten Hag is under contract with Manchester United until 2025. There's an option of an additional year. Ten Hag has made 6 signings as Manchester United manager. Manchester United signed Terrell Malacia from Feyenoord, got him for 13 million. Malacia is under contract with Man United until 2026 as an option of an additional year. Terrell Malacia's had some good games at United. He is now our first choice left back, so there's no way back for Luke Shaw. Man United signed Christian Eriksen on a free transfer. When Eriksen officially signed, he signed a 3-year contract. Eriksen's done well since he come to United. In the game against Arsenal recently, Eriksen was involved in all 3 of United's goals and he provided an assist. Man United signed Lisandro Martinez from Ajax in a deal worth 57 million. Martinez is under contract with the club until 2027. There's an option of an additional year. Martinez has done well for United so far. He plays very well alongside Varane in our back line. They're our first choice centre-halves. Man United, of course, signed Casemiro from Real Madrid. Didn't start against Arsenal recently, but he did come on. I thought he was going to start against Arsenal, but McTominay started ahead of him. We got Casemiro in a deal worth 70 million. With add-ons included. Man United paid an initial fee of 60 million. There was a further 10 million in add-ons. And Casemiro, when he officially signed a 4-year contract with an option of an additional year. Man United, of course, signed Antony from Ajax for around 86 million. Antony is Man United's 2nd most expensive signing ever and is the 4th most expensive signing in Premier League history. Antony is under contract with Man United till 2027. There's an option of an additional year. Antony made his debut against Arsenal. He started and he scored on his Manchester United debut. And Man United signed Martin Dubravka on loan from Newcastle. A 2 million loan deal was agreed. There's an option to buy for around 5 or 6 million. I think Martin Dubravka could be in goal for the game against Real Sociedad in the Europa League. I think he will make his debut and come in for David De Gea. But yeah, this year Manchester United have spent over 200 million. But reflecting on the signings and that we've made, I think Man United can finish in the top 4 this season. If we finish in the top 4 this season, you can say that's a good first season for Ten Hag. If we was to win a trophy as well as finish in the top 4, that'd be even better. And then obviously we'd build from that. Let me put into the equation, Manchester United have let a lot of players go this year. Manchester United loaned Hannibal Mejbri out to Birmingham. We loaned Amad Diallo, Traore out to Sunderland. We loaned Ethan Laird out to QPR. We loaned Eric Bailly out to Marseille. We loaned Alex Telles out to Sevilla. We loaned Dean Henderson out to Nottingham Forest. We loaned a few other players out. Don't forget Man United let Lee Grant leave earlier on this year. We let Matic leave on a free transfer. Earlier on this year, Man United let Paul Pogba go for the 2nd time on a free transfer. He went back to Juventus. Man United let Jesse Lingard go on a free transfer. He went to Nottingham Forest. We let Juan Mata go on a free. Cavani left on a free earlier on this year. Manchester United as well sold Andres Pereira. So there you go, and quite a few young players left. And there's more players that Manchester United need to get rid of. We need to get rid of Brandon Williams because he don't get in the team. He's been out with injury. Last season he was out on loan with Norwich. Brandon Williams is a left back. We definitely need to get rid of Phil Jones. I don't think Williams or Jones are leaving this year. I think Ten Hag's confirmed that. So too Tuanzebe as well. We certainly need to get rid of Harry Maguire. Obviously Harry Maguire doesn't start games now. He hasn't started, the last 4 or 5, and like I said earlier, we've looked a far superior team. Harry Maguire did come on against Arsenal and he did get a yellow card. You know, Man United overpaid for Harry Maguire, got him for 80 million. You know, revert back to last season, the vast majority of Man United fans were demanding for the captaincy to be taken off Harry Maguire. Lindelof, I think he's on his way out next year. You know, Lindelof is not one of our first choice centre-halves. He was no longer one of our first choice centre-halves when Manchester United signed Rafael Varane from Real Madrid. Lindelof earlier on this season was injured as well. I certainly think Wan-Bissaka is on his way out of the club. There's no way back for him now because Diego Dalot is our first choice right back under Ten Hag. He was also our first choice right back under Ralph Rangnick. Bissaka, by the way, is out with injury at the moment. Manchester United got him from Crystal Palace back in 2019 in a deal worth 50 million. Fred, I think he could be on his way out of the club next year. He's no longer one of our first choice centre midfielders. With obviously Man United getting Casemiro and Christian Eriksen in. Fred has played a lot of games alongside Scott McTominay in the centre midfield and they do not complement each other. Man United got Fred from Shakhtar Donetsk in a deal worth 50 million around 3 or 4 years ago. Luke Shaw, you know, you've got to say he could be on his way out of the club because like I said earlier, there's no way back for Luke Shaw now because Terrell Malacia is our first choice left back. Luke Shaw, you know, he's injury prone anyway. He had a knock not so long ago. The best season Luke Shaw enjoyed at Man United was the season before last. Shaw's been at United for around 9 years or so now, so he has been a long-serving player. Shaw's contract at the club expires next year. Ronaldo, I think he'll leave Manchester United next year. Ronaldo accepts he'll be staying until January. Not so long ago, it said Erik Ten Hag expects Cristiano Ronaldo to stay at Manchester United. Ronaldo didn't start against Arsenal, but he did come on and, to be fair, made an impact. Ronaldo's not started, the last 4 or 5 games is it now? And like I said, we look a far superior team. You know, we've been putting Rashford up top in Ronaldo's place. You know, Ronaldo's contract at Man United expires next year. There's an option of an additional year. Man United re-signed him last year from Juventus. Ronaldo's been his second spell at Man United. Since he re-signed, he's got 18 goals in the Premier League. He has 24 goals in all competitions. And Martial, I reckon Manchester United could be selling him next year. Martial is out with injury at the moment. I think this is the second injury he's had so far this season. Last season, Martial was out on loan with Sevilla. I told you the best season Martial enjoyed at Man United was his debut season under Louis van Gaal. Manchester United did get him from Monaco. Martial's been at United for around 7 years or so now. He's under contract with Man United until 2024. So there you go. You know, as things stand, Manchester United have not won a domestic trophy since 2017. So hopefully this season we can end that trophy drought. We did win the Cup in Bangkok in pre-season against Liverpool, but that doesn't really count, does it, in my opinion, as a domestic trophy. The last time Man United won the Premier League was back in 2013. That's almost 10 years ago. Manchester United have won 20 titles, 13 of them are Premier League titles. And you know, Manchester United have let 5 managers go since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. So after Ferguson, Manchester United had Moyes. He only enjoyed a short managerial tenure at the club. He got sacked after 10 months. And then after that, Man United had Louis van Gaal. You know, sacked him after 2 years. We did win the FA Cup under him. And then after that, Manchester United had Jose Mourinho. We sacked Jose Mourinho after like 2.5 years. Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United because he won 3 trophies in his first season. After Mourinho, Manchester United had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We sacked him in November last year. He was in charge of Man United for almost 3 years, and earlier on this year, Ralf Rangnick left Man United. He was Man United's interim manager for around 5 months. So there you go. Man United have definitely brought over 40 players in since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. And, you know, Ten Hag is inheriting, you know, players that other managers brought in. So you've got to put that into the equation. So anyway guys, on my next video, I will be giving you a preview for the Real Sociedad game. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.